So there was a really surprising announcement today. The 2018 WRX STi official images have been released. All of the specs and upgrades have been released. And I'm just going to go through all these upgrades while showing you some images of them as well. I just really wasn't expecting this. But there's been enhancements to design, performance, and comfort just for an enhanced experience. It's going to hit retailers in spring of 2017, so we don't even have to wait this long. It's going to be here in a couple months. So we'll start out with design, with the front fascia, which I just think is perfect. It really looks like an aftermarket bumper with these massive inlets on the left, and the center has been sort of like carved out more. And it looks like they've eliminated the fog lights. I don't know if that's going to be an option, or maybe the fog lights are tucked behind the mesh, or we just can't see them in this image. But it looks absolutely beautiful, a lot more aggressive. They've also redesigned the LED headlights, and they have now steering response lights. So when you're taking a turn, the lights are going to follow the steering inputs. Also, I can't believe they didn't have these before, but they're having roof rack mounting. So, for snowboarding or whatever. So all good upgrades there. And really, I mean, if you take a look, I mean, just the way those wheels sitting there, 19-inch wheels, we're getting into that in a little bit, the yellow brake calipers. And the front, as you can see here, it looks like it's going to be this plastic that they already have on the exterior of STIs. They just kind of reshaped it, reformatted it a little bit. And I think that was a really good choice. So on to performance. They revised the suspension tuning. They also revised the Dcccd all-wheel drive system, and there were significant brake upgrades. Now there are stronger monoblock 6-piston calipers up front and monoblock 2 pistons in the rear, along with drilled rotors around for better cooling and also for fade resistance. Also, for the first time, like I said earlier, there's going to be 19-inch wheels as standard, measuring 245 by 35. They not only look great, they're going to raise the cornering performance as well. One thing my friend and I were talking about, he has the STi I just showed in that panning shot, is how hard it's going to be to clean these wheels for as much brake dust as these cars produce, but it'll be worth the clean. I want to talk a little bit more about the Dcccd system, which previously used a combination of mechanical and electronic center limited slip differential control. It now uses electronic control for quicker and smoother response. So just a nice little tweak that they made. They knew there was an issue there with lag, trying to bring the technology up to date without totally revamping the engine. So they've done this to the drivetrain, and I think it's going to make a bigger difference than you would think just reading or listening to that. Now, good old EJ is going to stay with us. We're still going to have 305 horsepower, 2.5-liter turbocharged boxer engine. It's going to have the multi-mode driver controls. The standard handling technologies include the active torque vectoring and multi-mode vehicle dynamics control. So that all stays about the same, but that was expected. I think 2020 is going to be when they totally revamp the engine. I think the FA motor, which is in the WRX right now, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and that'll have a twin scroll turbo. I've even heard rumors about a hybrid power plant. I just don't think that they're going to have enough time to do all the research and have all the resources to get that in production for 2020, but maybe 2 generations from now that could be a possibility. Now, one of the things that makes the WRX and the STi so popular is because of their everyday usability, and they've increased the materials used on the interior of the car for 2018. So all models are going to feature rear seat armrests with cup holders, redesigned interior door grips, and a faster remote trunk opening, which I thought was kind of funny to note, but hey, you gotta get that trunk open to get the groceries in, right? Now, looking here at this image, they changed the color of the dials and the font a little bit, and I actually think this was a mistake. Again, it's just my opinion, but I just think the red looked really cool, and this white with the changed font, it kind of like softens the look of the gauges. I think they should have just kept that the same. Now, moving on, one thing they did that was absolutely necessary is giving it Recaro seats. They didn't necessarily need to be Recaro seats, but it's nice to have that feature because Recaro is arguably the best seat manufacturer in the world. But they needed to upgrade the bolstering around the sides, and they did that. And having the Recaro name is also really cool to see. That's going to be a feature that will be standard on the Limited and an option on the base model. They've also done a nice job of, the trim used to be carbon fiber. It looked like carbon fiber across the front. Now it seems to be a piano black, and on the WRX it'll be carbon fiber. The screen has also been slightly upgraded, and there's leather trim and stitching around the edge of it, which just looks absolutely beautiful. So I think they did a nice job kind of maturing the car while adding some things that are necessary, such as the bolstering. One of my other complaints about the 2015 STi that I reviewed on my channel, and that it was a Limited, is just how loud it is inside the car. So to fix this, I mean, it's almost like Subaru was just reading all the blogs and everything to see what people were complaining about, and one of those things is it is very loud inside this car. So what they did is, to reduce unwanted noise, they had thicker door glass, they revised the door sealing and foam-filled windshield header beam. So that is all going to help reduce the sound. I don't expect it to be a quiet ride by any means, but it is going to help because it's very loud just while driving around day to day. There's also a new, larger, high-definition multifunction display. It's going to be 5.9 inches versus the original 4.3 inches. And again, this is just going to make it easier to look at the vehicle functions at a glance. And then when you go to the premium models, it'll have the Subaru Starlink with a 7-inch multimedia unit compared to the previous 6.2-inch unit. So all good upgrades. Really excited to see this here in just a few months. And I kind of wonder, just looking at some of the things that they did, reducing the wind noise, putting 19-inch wheels on it, putting better brakes on it, kind of makes you wonder if they were looking at the RS and saying, okay, we need to make the wheels a little bigger, we need to put Recaro seats in it just to compete better. Just makes you wonder what they're thinking in the background, and then what they're going to do for probably 2020 for a new chassis and engine and everything. So really excited for all of this. Thank you for watching, and there is plenty more content to come.